Student delivery worker forced to kneel, protests erupt. Shaanxi hit by a massive flood, Gansu faces a sandstorm. A scenic area's magic carpet breaks, scaring tourists. Man buys second-hand bed, discovers it was meant for disaster relief. Chinese woman causes a scene on a plane over her Louis Vuitton bag. Paying to be insulted, tourists called poor. On August 12th, at Hangzhou's Xixi Century Center, a food delivery driver was forced by security guards to kneel and pay a 200 yuan fine, about $28 on the spot, which led to protests involving over 1,000 people. According to reports, the incident started when a 19-year-old college student in Hangzhou, who was working part-time as a food delivery worker, was delivering an order to the Greentown Xixi Century Center near a river. Since there was no road leading to the destination, he parked his scooter and walked through the greenery. However, on his way out, he accidentally stepped on a fence and knocked it over. When the security guards saw the fence down, they immediately confiscated his e-scooter keys and fined him 200 yuan on the spot. Because he was running late for his delivery, he was ultimately forced to kneel to get his scooter back. After the incident, hundreds of food delivery workers rushed to the scene, and over 1,000 people gathered, demanding to know why the security guards had forced the delivery driver to kneel. The crowd angrily demanded an apology. However, instead of addressing the issue, the involved security guards hid and made insulting remarks, which caused the situation to become extremely tense and chaotic. A large number of fully armed police officers later arrived to escort the property management leaders away. As they were leaving, many delivery workers threw water bottles at the leader, who fled in a panic, further escalating the chaos on the scene. Some netizens were live streaming the scene, but their live streams were quickly shut down by the platform. After the incident, the area outside the Xixi Century Center was filled with police cars. However, by around 8 p.m. that evening, there were still many delivery workers and onlookers gathered outside the community. Some kind-hearted people handed out free bottled water to the delivery workers who were still protesting on site. Later, the Chinese authorities issued a statement saying that due to the kneeling incident, they were currently investigating those involved. The authorities stated that they would handle the matter according to the findings of the investigation. However, online reports suggest that the delivery worker who was forced to kneel was actually a 19-year-old female college student. In response to the collective resistance by the delivery workers, a blogger expressed support, stating, "In these already turbulent times, it is essential to effectively unite with the organizations around you, otherwise you are more likely to be harmed or exploited." However, some netizens worry that these mutual aid groups that stand by each other at any moment will become targets for suppression. They fear that these groups will either be broken apart or reorganized under party control. As expected, a screenshot circulated online later that evening, showing that all delivery workers who participated in the protests on the 12th would have their accounts on delivery platform Vuitton deactivated. According to the platform's rules, delivery workers who organize, incite, or participate in strikes, sit-ins, or any activities that disrupt public, corporate, or social order may face penalties, including restrictions on receiving orders. Recently, more and more news stories have emerged about how delivery workers are being humiliated. On July 22nd in Anhui, a delivery worker mistakenly delivered the wrong order and ended up on the ground crying. His customer had returned the order and spat on him. The person who filmed the incident revealed that the delivery worker had just graduated from high school. Around July 20th in Wuhan, Hubei, a delivery worker whose order was delayed tried to enter a residential community first and register afterward. In response, a security guard locked the gate on his foot. A fellow delivery worker, who couldn't bear to watch, said, "Is he a dog that needs to be chained like this? He's a human being." Sadly, as China's economy declines, more and more people are joining the delivery industry out of financial necessity. For example, on the Chinese food delivery app Meituan, as of July 19, 2024, the number of drivers increased from 4.7 million in 2020 to 6.24 million in 2022, a growth of 32.8%. Other data shows that during the COVID-19 pandemic in 2023, the number of delivery workers surged dramatically. In recent years, natural disasters seem to be happening more frequently across various provinces in China. From August 9th to 11th, a major flood struck Shaanxi province. Videos circulating online show several rivers in Shaanxi experiencing flood peaks, with muddy waters rushing down, carrying along soil, trees, and weeds. The flood stopped high-speed trains and disrupted traffic. Due to the flood, by 8 a.m. on August 11th, nearly 19,000 people had been urgently evacuated from the Qingtan area in Dali and Pucheng counties of Weinan. Residents reported that on August 9th, when the flood peak of the Beiluo River passed through Fuxian County, the waters were so rapid that some houses were submerged. According to information from China's Water Resources website, on August 10th at 12:45 p.m., the flood peak at the Zhuangtou Hydrological Station on the lower mainstream of the Beiluo River in Shaanxi reached 371.7 meters, with a flow rate of 3,530 cubic meters per second, exceeding the guaranteed flow rate of 3,300 cubic meters per second. This is the largest flood since 1994. Due to the flood, the lower reaches of the Beiluo River were expected to experience water flow exceeding the warning level. By 8 a.m. on August 4th, approximately 18,700 people had been evacuated from Dali and Pucheng counties in Shaanxi's Weinan area. On the night of August 7th, during a concert at the Mingsha Mountain Crescent Springs Scenic area in Dunhuang, Gansu, a sudden sandstorm hit, forcing thousands of tourists to evacuate immediately. Videos circulating online show crowds gathered on a sand dune, singing together at the concert. Suddenly, strong winds began to blow, and a sandstorm swept through, making it hard to see. In response, staff members started shouting for people to leave. On the 9th, staff from the Scenic area confirmed these events, and all tourists were evacuated safely. Some people online mentioned that there were around 70 to 80,000 people at the scene. One person online commented, "One moment it's a concert, the next it's a sandstorm. What an experience." Another person said, "We were halfway through the concert when a level 7 sandstorm hit, and the next day it poured rain. That's it, I'm never coming back to Dunhuang." Official information shows that on August 7th at 3:38 p.m., the Dunhuang Meteorological Station had issued a blue sandstorm warning, predicting that most towns in Dunhuang would experience sandstorms with visibility less than 3,000 meters that afternoon and evening. In some areas, a sandstorm with visibility less than 1,000 meters was expected. On the afternoon of August 10th, around 1 p.m., a malfunction occurred at the Magic Carpet project in Guangxi's Detian Waterfall Scenic area. The Magic Carpet allows visitors to ascend to view the waterfall. According to initial reports, the incident led to at least 1 death and 60 injuries. Photos taken by tourists at the scene show chaos, with injured people sitting along a walkway, many of them with leg injuries. Volunteers and staff members were seen bandaging wounds and cleaning injuries. One tourist mentioned that the conveyor belt, which was carrying visitors, suddenly broke in the middle, causing many people, including children, to fall. The scene was chaotic, with several people suffering fractures. Despite waiting for 1 or 2 hours, the injured had not been moved. Another witness stated that the fall height was about 5 meters or more. An ambulance arrived 1 hour after the accident, and even by 7 p.m., ambulances were still arriving. The police had cordoned off the area. Although the accident happened around 2 p.m., more than 10 ambulances were still entering the scene after 6 p.m. According to BJ News, a witness at the scene said that when the incident occurred, he was at the corner of a staircase and heard crowds screaming. The equipment kept moving upward, and some people got stuck. The incident sparked discussion online. One netizen shared that they and 8 friends had just finished playing in the area and left around 11 a.m., only to hear about the accident happening just after 1 p.m. It left them feeling very shaken. Many netizens expressed concern about the lack of safety measures for this attraction. One person commented that when they visited before, the descent speed was so fast that people behind lost their balance, with some even flipping 360 degrees and getting injured. What's even scarier is that there wasn't even a complete safety net below. If an accident were to happen, the chances of rescuing the visitors would be slim. Another netizen revealed that the second section of the magic carpet had already shown issues the day before the accident and was temporarily closed. However, after being repaired, the attraction reopened, and the more severe accident occurred the next day. They also pointed out that while staff at each stop along the magic carpet would remind visitors not to stand or lie down, there were no safety belts or other protective measures for those sitting. According to the announcement from the Scenic area, the Zhejiang Transnational Waterfall Scenic Area will temporarily close starting August 11th for equipment maintenance and inspection. The reopening date will be announced later. Visitors who have already booked tickets online can get a refund through the original ticketing platform. The magic carpet is a conveyor belt that slowly carries visitors to higher ground, allowing them to enjoy the scenery along the way, including views of Vietnamese villages and the river along the China-Vietnam border. The magic carpet is divided into two sections, with a total length of about 356 meters. It moves at a speed of about 0.6 to 1 meter per second and can transport about 3,000 visitors up the mountain per hour. However, some netizens are skeptical. They said, "The magic carpet is so poorly made, clearly designed to save on cost, so why does giving it a cool name attract people? It looks like an escalator, but people sit on it, and the sides are just plastic edges pieced together. It feels like it's even lower quality than a cargo conveyor belt." Another netizen added, "Isn't this just a conveyor belt like the ones used in cement factories? They break easily and can easily entangle people. So the question is, can this kind of equipment really transport visitors safely?" Ironically, information shows that the Zhejiang waterfall in Guangxi was designated as a China National 5A tourist attraction as early as 2018. It was praised for its significant achievements in upgrading facilities, creating top-notch landscapes, and fostering cross-border tourism cooperation, becoming a benchmark in the industry. The ticket price for the magic carpet is 228 yuan, about $32, with the magic carpet ticket itself priced at 80 yuan, around $11. Additionally, reports indicate that this isn't the first accident involving the magic carpet. Back in January of this year, an incident occurred where the magic carpet suddenly malfunctioned and slid down rapidly, causing injuries. Fortunately, the injured were quickly taken to the hospital and were not seriously harmed. In recent years, numerous internet-famous attractions have sprung up. These attractions have drawn large crowds of tourists, but have also brought significant safety concerns. On August 11, 2024, a pavilion in Maoshan Park, a popular internet-famous spot in Hengshan, Changzhou, Gansu, collapsed after being struck by lightning. People taking shelter from the rain were trapped inside. Reports indicate that 6 people died and 10 others were injured. This incident is suspected to be related to shoddy construction work. On the afternoon of April 13, 2024, a boat capsized at a tourist spot in Qinhuangdao, Hebei. Even though firefighters quickly responded with 31 fire trucks, 13 rubber boats, and 144 personnel for the rescue, 12 out of the 31 people who fell into the water sadly lost their lives. Residents near the tourist spot mentioned that the fishermen who attract tourists don't have the necessary tourism service licenses, and the boats they use have been illegally modified to carry more passengers. Additionally, the fishermen don't provide life jackets. The chaotic situation has been ongoing for a long time, and it wasn't until this tragic incident with serious casualties that it finally caught the authorities' attention. Many people believe that this incident raises serious concerns about the quality of safety management at these popular tourist destinations. It also suggests that some of these places might be taking dangerous risks with basic safety standards. Man buys second-hand bed, discovers it was meant for disaster relief. On the morning of August 12th, Mr. Dai told a reporter from Jimu News that 2 days earlier he had some guests coming over unexpectedly, so he went to the market to buy 2 beds. He ended up purchasing 2 folding beds, which looked brand new and were wrapped in plastic. He paid 160 yuan, about $22 for each bed. However, when he got home, he noticed that the blue single beds had markings related to disaster relief supplies. Next to these markings, it also said, "Scan the code for full traceability," and "Supervised by the Ministry of Emergency Management of the People's Republic of China." Mr. Dai asked the store owner about it, and the owner claimed the beds were acquired through legal channels. Despite this, Mr. Dai is still concerned about whether it's appropriate to use these beds. On August 12th, a reporter from Jimu News contacted the store owner who sold the beds to Mr. Dai. The store owner said that on June 12th, he purchased dozens of new sealed folding single beds from a shed under a viaduct on Huangrui Road in Pudong New area. He mentioned that he had sold some of these beds over time and still had some in his warehouse. The traceability code on the beds showed that this batch was produced by a company in Ningbo specializing in blow-molded furniture on December 20th, 2020. The beds were then delivered to a warehouse of a certain unit in Shanghai on February 4th, 2021. On August 12th, the unit that received these supplies confirmed to the reporter that these beds were indeed emergency supplies. However, for unknown reasons, someone had privately sold these beds, which were supposed to be returned to a steel factory. Following this, the Emergency Management Bureau stated that they are taking the matter very seriously and are conducting a thorough investigation. This incident adds to previous scandals in China involving the illegal sale of disaster relief supplies. On February 6 this year, a netizen in Lingzhou, Anyang, Henan Province, reported that they had purchased a pot for 60 yuan, about $3.30 US, from a store in Zhenlin Road. They discovered that the pot was marked with Zhouchun Xingyong Electric Appliance Factory, donated to the Henan Disaster Area 2021-07. This raised suspicions that someone was illegally selling disaster relief supplies. On December 26, 2023, a screenshot supposedly from the Xianyu platform showing the sale of Canada Goose Down jackets for Gansu earthquake relief was widely circulated on social media. The caption read, "Goose Down for Gansu earthquake area, only a few hundred pieces, no wash labels or tags, no returns or exchanges." Some netizens claimed that these relief supplies were being sold on a second-hand platform for 8,500 yuan, about $1,185 US. Ironically, despite these reports of similar incidents, the Chinese Red Cross issued an urgent appeal stating that they are in financial crisis. Around July, according to recent reports, the Red Cross in Panlong District, Kunming City, Yunnan Province, showed in its first quarter financial report for 2024 that they received only one donation during the quarter, totaling 800 yuan, about $110 US. Meanwhile, their expenses reached a staggering 890,100 yuan, about $123,000 US, including salaries, office expenses, printing costs, and postal and telecommunications fees, with salaries alone amounting to an astonishing 160,000 yuan, about $22,000 US. Also in July, the Red Cross in Tai'an, Shandong Province, faced a financial crisis. In 2023, the Tai'an Red Cross received 27,000 yuan, about $2,800 US, in donations. However, including management costs, employee medical expenses, housing subsidies, and wages and social security expenses, their total expenditure amounted to an astonishing 5.52 million yuan, about $770,000 US. In the end, the local government had to allocate 6 million yuan, about $840,000 US, to keep them running. The Tai'an Red Cross stated that they could no longer pay their employees and called on everyone to donate to help them through this difficult time. Otherwise, the organization might not be able to continue operating. This situation has not only sparked widespread confusion among the public, but has also raised deep concerns. People are beginning to question why the Red Cross's donation income is so meager. Some people have even remarked, it turns out that the Red Cross is more about solving employment issues than disaster relief. Others are saying that perhaps the best course of action is to disband the Chinese Red Cross altogether. Chinese woman causes a scene on a plane over her Louis Vuitton bag. Recently, a Chinese woman at Chongqing Jiangbei International Airport caused a major delay on a flight because she refused to place her LV handbag on the floor or in the overhead compartment. Despite the flight attendant's attempts to persuade her, the woman insisted on keeping the bag next to her seat. As a result, the plane, which was ready to take off, had to return to the gate, delaying the entire flight by over an hour. According to reports from Chinese media, passengers who witnessed the incident on the plane expressed their frustration with the woman's behavior. Many of them took their phones out to record her. In the end, Chinese police intervened and escorted the woman off the plane to the applause of the other passengers. Videos of the incident have circulated online, with many netizens commenting that the woman's actions not only compromised flight safety, but also inconvenienced the other passengers. According to international airline regulations, to ensure flight safety, all carry-on luggage, regardless of size, must be placed in the overhead bin or under the seat. This rule is in place to prevent anything from obstructing the aisle. Chinese people's impolite behavior in public spaces have long been criticized. On August 9th in Hangzhou, there was another incident where two men allegedly got into a physical fight over access to a charging station. In the video, you can see two men wrestling in a parking lot, and in the next moment, the man wearing the white tank top drags the other man across the ground, which shocked onlookers. This exaggerated behavior was too much to tolerate and sparked a heated discussion online. Netizens lamented, "Civilized behavior is really important. Violence doesn't solve anything." On August 5th, a female tourist from another province was visiting the Badaling section of the Great Wall when she used a key to carve her name into the wall. Other tourists spotted her and reported it. The Badaling police station of the Yanqing Public Security Bureau tracked her down and ultimately sentenced her to 5 days of administrative detention and fined her 200 yuan, approximately $29. She has also been placed on the blacklist of the Badaling Scenic area. On July 1st, the China Giant Panda Protection and Research Center reported that 4 individuals were caught spitting into the outdoor panda enclosure. As a result, they have been permanently banned from ever visiting the base again. It was noted that all 4 individuals were over 60 years old. Southern Metropolis Daily previously reported that several panda bases had reported similar uncivilized behavior by tourists, including throwing sugarcane, stones, and banana peels into panda enclosures. Paying to be insulted, tourists called poor. Recently, a female tour guide in Qingdao, Shandong, insulted a tourist from Sichuan, telling them, "If you're poor, you shouldn't be out here," which sparked widespread criticism online. A video circulating online shows that on August 9th, aboard a tour bus, a female tour guide from Qingdao was holding a microphone and repeatedly complaining to the tourists on the bus, accusing them of refusing to spend money on shopping. The tour guide can be heard saying, "If you're poor, you should stay home and not come out. It's your fault for being out here, not ours. I believe Shandong would treat you this way, and so will other places." Not only that, but she also mentioned the Wenchuan earthquake in an attempt to provoke the Sichuan tourists on the bus. She said, "Sichuan people are very stingy. In the past, those of us in the tourism industry didn't really like dealing with Sichuan people. The 2008 earthquake changed them. The Sichuan people who survived realized that if you want to live, you have to live in the moment. So now, Sichuan people have become big spenders." The video of the tour guide insulting tourists sparked a heated discussion online. Many netizens commented, "Even poor people have the right to travel," and "The guide's tactics, insulting and degrading people's dignity to pressure them into spending, are unacceptable." A netizen shared their own experience, saying that when they first started working, they went on a trip organized by their company and encountered a similar tour guide in Zhangjiajie. The guide would give them attitude if they didn't shop, and even used a loudspeaker on the bus to say, "I hate taking groups of teachers the most. They're stingy and poor. If you don't spend money, why are you even traveling? You'd save more by staying home." Since then, the netizen never participated in any company-organized trips again, not wanting to give anyone another chance to discuss them. After the video of the Qingdao tour guide insulting tourists went viral, the Qingdao Municipal Bureau of Culture and Tourism stated on August 11th that they had formed a team to investigate the incident and would take action based on the investigation's findings. However, netizens are skeptical, questioning what the investigation team can really resolve when tour guides feel bold enough to act so cold and arrogant. They wonder, can an investigation heal the indifference in people's hearts? In this system, the issue to reflect on may not just be the actions of a few individuals, but rather the unhealthy values that have permeated the entire society. In mainland China, incidents of tour guides insulting tourists who refuse to spend money happen frequently. In July of this year, a netizen posted a video exposing a female tour guide in Tianjin who berated tourists, saying, "If you don't spend money, it's all nonsense." She even forced tourists to get off the bus and enter a store, insisting they couldn't leave until they spend at least 2,000 yuan. After the incident drew public attention, the Tianjin Municipal Bureau of Culture and Tourism announced that the tour guide involved had been fined 30,000 yuan, about $4,100 US.